My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See the patternofconduct.wordpress.com. 7ZEN 389, 8ULD 332, 6FTS 465. Six MNX 789, 9BCV 889. This demon is molesting with light, engaging in surveillance, sitting in their vehicle in the street, while another demon is driving by, engaging in the same demonic behavioral pattern. 6JIH074 appears to be a Latino male, overweight, facial hair, and is standing in front of what is the venue of 614 Fern Avenue. Gets out of the vehicle. I'm taking images of it. Gets out of their vehicle. They're sitting in their car. This is a demon keeping their headlights on. Another demon drives by and touching me with light inside of the car. So I do get out. The entity is sitting in the vehicle with that license plate and with their headlights on. So they're monitoring together while other demons are pacing by. In other words, they're monitoring together. This is surveillance in the directed light. Again, multiple shadows. I've shown you the entity is stalking, engaging in what is just walking out of their houses, sitting in their cars, aiming light, doing so on behalf of the Ontario police, who again are stalking by helicopter. This is group stalking, BSDNA 77. That's another third-party monitoring. And engaging in what is sitting in their vehicle, immediately gets out of the vehicle and starts walking toward the venue of this address that I'm reading. This is a demonic behavioral pattern, and they are engaging in a sex offense while they're engaging in this molestation. I want to make sure I specifically document that. That is the pattern of conduct. Not only is that a sex offense, that's the conduct where the people of the state are subject to what is mental institutions as they engage in this sort of demented stalking conduct. And this sexual violence, this terrorism, stalking with directed light, this demonic activity that they're engaging in. All right, I want to be clear. It is currently Sunday, July 17, 2022, and it is 2:08 a.m. where a demon is in relevant position, where the people of the state have no shelter from prosecution. You don't have any protection in a facilitating venue where you live, where you're group stalking, doing so on behalf of the state. And all of the pattern of conduct is already established. The entity is stalking by helicopter over these minions' houses. Directed light is present where you are at, where these minions live in relevant position. All of the environment, in other words, is present. And I'm just speaking to, again, understanding what is the pattern of conduct and what is group stalking. And there is no sense of belonging. In other words, there is no legal exception with regard to what is state surveillance. That's the state that is at 614 Fern Avenue, where a demon is sitting inside of that license plate that I'm reciting, engaging in what is monitoring, the elements of monitoring, entirely demonic. Okay, a violent sex offender at 2 o'clock in the morning molesting my body while you know exactly where I'm at inside of a vehicle on the street, where you are a whole psychopath sitting in there engaging in surveillance, aware of what I'm doing inside of the car. This is the reality of this demon, and molesting while other third parties are driving by, touching on my person together. That is that sex offender engaging in what is a molestation of my person, harassment by a demon. This is terrorism that they're going to be prosecuted by. This is the people of the state also acting via that third party. It is, again, 2:09 a.m. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:58 a.m. And as I have already captured before at this venue where I remain inside of the vehicle, and a whole entity, the state of California, the people of the state are stalking and monitoring me while I sleep inside of a vehicle. And you're also witnessing that as it is revealed through the unnatural environment that remains around me while that stalking system is underway. I captured what's the fake sun that's directly over the window, over the vehicle that I'm inside of at the intersection of Fern and G Street in Ontario, adjacent to what is 325 West G Street, 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California, which, and by the way, is nowhere near the site of the Ovid Family Community Library, okay? The entity is molesting my person. When you're stalking with this environment, the state of California that has placed you under surveillance, doing it through satanic methods, you're going to prosecute for every violation that the entity is engaging in, including those demonic methods. And so this is a touching. There is no sunlight that's going to be, there's no sun that's going to be over the window where the sun supposedly over and remaining over the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. And remember, that's just in Ontario. When it's over me, when I'm standing on the street inside of Victoria Gardens, there is no sun that's over the window of the vehicle that's parked on Fern Avenue and G Street. It's not happening at the same time. It's not occurring for the duration of the day at both addresses. The entity is engaging in what is stalking with the fake sun that's over me inside of a vehicle in Ontario, outside of what is 630 North Fern Avenue, and is touching on my thighs, molesting my person with this directed light while I remain subject to surveillance. And it is entirely demonic. This is terrorism, and it is state surveillance conduct. And it is clearly revealed through what is that unnatural environment. How do you know? Because I've already shown as a matter of objective evidence, the sun is not hanging over, specifically over the top of anyone's head on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library at 215 East C Street in Ontario, California, while I'm capturing it hovering over the house where this car is parked in front of 325 West G Street and 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California, in addition to the multiple other addresses. Okay, days before, obviously, at 9:42 a.m., I'm in Victoria Gardens, okay, standing next to the food hall, standing in the middle of the street. Fake sun is directly over my head, and I'm at Paul Bryan Library at 9:58 a.m., at 10 a.m., and I'm remaining there sitting outside, taking pictures of demons that are pacing around me while that fake sun is directly over me and directly over the Paul Bryan Library. That is not over this vehicle at Fern Avenue and G Street. It's an impossible occurrence. It is speaking to what is stalking with light. It is an ongoing molestation. It's a sex offense, which you're going to prosecute the public entity for. The perpetual sex offense. And it is one of the many ways in which the public entity and the people of the state of California are engaged in the perpetual sex offense. All right. This is the significance of the images that I captured. It's 10:01 a.m. and the fake sun is hovering over, again, third party facilitating venue, 325 West G Street, where you also see at nightfall my shadow surrounding me outside of 325 West G Street, where I have already published documentation of literally a large patch of directed light, the mark of Satan itself, on the venue of 325 West G Street, where I have already documented directed light on the street outside of 325 West G Street, where demons are molesting me with directed light that's shooting all around inside of the car and on my person outside of 325 West G Street, where the Ontario International Airport is stalking with commercial airline planes, where I am parked inside of a vehicle outside of 325 West G Street, where the entity is stalking by helicopters, flying over my head and flying in circles and engaging in what is group stalking by a pack of demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Police Department outside of 325 West G Street. What I'm spelling out for you is our facilitating venues where the people of the state reside, and they are in no way subject to any shelter from a federal prosecution while they are vicariously monitoring and stalking on behalf of a state in what is nothing other than the revealing of what is an entirely malicious system, where the stalker lives around you, works around you, and is maintaining presence all around you just by virtue of anywhere where they work, where they live. And that demonic system is operated by what is showing stalking with an environment. All right. That's the reality of it. It is currently 10:02 a.m. This is P.O.C. on, again, Sunday, July 17th, 2022. $8BGH 491-0482803 1014201 GKLVTK BZ 752 handicap 7XDE 460 4VHB 726 8VAA 772 7EAJ 362 6EJH 337 7JLF 848 6MZT 591 AVJ 5139. That looks like an out-of-state flight. 10:25 a.m. 6MZT591, 7PWN 791, 7UMD 746, 7JLF848, 8RXB330, 7EAJ362, 8VAA772. It's 10:29 a.m. I captured images of the fake centers directly over me at the Golden Corral off of the, I believe this is the 10 freeway. Vineyard on 4th is the name of the plaza. The Golden Corral at 1640 4th Street. This is nowhere near what would be the entrance of the Open Family Community Library, the Ranch Cucamonga Superior Court. It's nowhere near what would be the Paul Bunyan Library. What you're listening to is Satan that's creating audible activity while I'm revealing the truth about the pattern of conduct. It's not a coincidence while I'm under the fake sun at Golden Corral and you hear that sudden loud noise of demons that are on a freeway monitoring right now, group stalking. The population, the demon-possessed population knows exactly where I'm at. That's why the fake sun is over me. And you hear that loud noise, which is occurring under the guise of what's just traffic. It's not. They're demons that are monitoring, and it's Satan that's witnessing me document and reveal that. Because at 10:29 a.m., the fake sun is over me at Golden Corral, where the entity is keeping a fake sun over the demons of the Ontario Police Department that engaged in kidnapping under that fake sun, as I documented on video at 10:29 a.m. on June 16, 2022. It's also, again, like I stated, not over the Ranch Cucamonga Superior Court, revealing what is inside of that court. There are a bunch of demons exercising fictitious authority, engaged in state surveillance and terrorism. And that's why the fake sun is over me at Golden Corral at 10:29 a.m. It is 10:31 a.m. now. This is P.O.C. 7UFT211, 7ZYY317, 7CNG590, 8FCG813, 8GHX789, NOOK650. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, it's currently 10:32 a.m. I want to make sure I document. This is also documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. All right, this is Golden Corral in Ontario, California. Alrighty, the entity pacing in and out of the bathroom, maintaining activity and presence inside of that private space. And this is, again, the people of the state. Golden Corral is a sex offender engaging in criminal monitoring in the specific environment. The sun's not over Golden Corral and over the Paul Bunyan Library at the same time. It's not over the Open Family Community Library, et cetera, et cetera. These are demons that I'm showing in relevant position. It's speaking to what is stalking that's occurring in a private space and that's serving for the prosecution. Let me be clear. Let me point something out too. These are all demons sitting inside of a restaurant, and the restaurant is packed, and they're all engaged in surveillance inside of this restaurant together, while the entity goes inside of the bathroom maintaining presence. And on the outside, it's supposed to appear as though this is normal everyday society. Everybody's just out on Sunday afternoon having breakfast. And you're understanding what is the reality of this demon-possessed population, what they are doing to targeted individuals, and they're doing it on behalf of the state. And I will be prosecuting Golden Corral, filled with directed light, under the fake sun, and stalking in the bathroom. All right, facilitating venue. That's why I captured Golden Corral, if you recall my documentation a couple weeks ago. The fake sun directly over me as I'm looking out the window, the doors of this venue. And the fake sun is directly over my head as I'm standing looking outside of that door. And I'll capture also what's directed light that's, again, coming inward through the door. That's impossible light activity. That's not sunlight. It's also impossible because the sun's over the Open Family Community Library right now, remember? This is P.O.C. and that is, again, not only is that Golden Corral that's engaging in monitoring me while my panties are down, Golden Corral is a facilitating venue where the people of the state, the sex offender, is stalking a demon, creeping in bathroom stalls, maintaining presence all around you, pacing in and out of the bathroom, while maintaining real-time knowledge of the fact that whether your panties are down or up, stalking in that space. All of that entity is engaging in that, doing it in that specific environment that's present for that purpose. It's P.O.C. All right, you'll see directed light on the roof. Oh, excuse me, that would be the ceiling while I'm inside of the building. Impossible light activity while I'm sitting inside, showing you what are a bunch of demons that are group stalking in a restaurant. The sex offense underway inside of that restaurant in the bathroom where there's demons are stalking as I capture relevant positioning. And I'm also showing you what's the outside of that building. It's absolutely impossible. It's never occurring. But just to be clear, let me show you what it looks like on the outside of the building where that directed light is appearing on the inside. That's speaking to what are psychopaths engaging in this system with the state. 8SMN996. All right, and this is what I'm saying. The system is underway, and the people of the state, a bunch of demons, all right, that are stalking you together, and they are also stalking in the bathroom. And that's why that environment is present. And that's revealing what is the truth of what they're doing. And it's entirely demented. All right. And I want to be clear, Golden Corral, engaging in what is monitoring me with the people of the state. It's not only a facilitating venue, those demon-possessed minions that work at this venue engaging in what is activity creation while they are stalking. Again, as I'm going to get a plate, I'm going to get any sort of food at whatever, wherever it is that I'm walking, they're engaged in the same obsessive stalking conduct, maintaining presence, and they're engaging, going out of their way in directed light. So they're going around at a buffet. All of a sudden, they're singing happy birthday to customers. They do so with simultaneity to my walking around to the corner to get some yogurt. They're maintaining noise around me. And I took a picture just so that you could see. They're clapping their hands and singing happy birthday is audible activity creation, while impossible light activities on the floor inside of that Golden Corral. And then I'm showing on the opposite side of that restaurant directed light that's on the ceiling and on the walls, which is impossible light activity. Those are demons that are focused on me, using what is the venue and the presence of third parties, patrons who are group stalking with them in order to engage in the elements of monitoring. Demons that are stalking with audible activity pursuant to what I'm doing, physically moving. That's demonic behavior. All right, and it's occurring, again, with regard to prosecution. This is a business establishment, which you are not operating a legitimate business. You're present on behalf of the state. You are in the shoes of the state, and you'll be prosecuted civilly and criminally for that. Golden Corral is a sex offender. I'm showing relevant positioning in the bathroom. I'll prosecute you for that. All right, so I just want to be clear. This is the significance of those images that I'm capturing inside of that venue. 6MZT591, 6CBR186, 7UMD746, 8GBS247, CKD N86, that's out of state, 8YCC880, 9BMW214, outside of a restaurant. That restaurant represents nothing other than what is a facilitating venue where the people of the state are engaged in the pattern of conduct, and that's why the fake sun is over that restaurant, 8CWM694, and that's revealing what is a system of psychopaths, because that's what the demon-possessed are, to engage in what is targeting one person together, doing so in what's supposed to be some covert system. It's entirely demented. That's very, very sick conduct, and this is speaking to the exposure of that system, which is underway at what is Golden Corral, okay? This is P.O.C. It is currently 12:08 p.m. where I'm showing you the directed light that's inside. Well, no, the directed light is before. I just exited. It's 12:08 p.m. having exited. And the fake sun is now leaving the Golden Corral building, remaining over me while I'm in the car, okay? It's 12:08 p.m. while this is underway. P.O.C. 5ECT233, 7CJ4027, 8WNV825, 9AJL034, and Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue, molesting my person with directed light while these demons are pacing around in the parking lot of Walmart. The fake sun is right over my head while they're stalking. 9BHZ570, 8ZTG597. Understand the people of the state molested me at a facilitating venue. That facilitating venue, which is a commercial actor, a business establishment, that is Walmart, facilitating a terrorizing system of group stalking demonic activity where a sex offense is underway on the grounds of that venue. That venue is going to be prosecuted. And that's exactly what these minions are doing while they're pacing around me, touching. 9AJE346, 8PPX168, 9AJ, oh, I read that one, 9AJE436, 321 LG handicap. This is P.O.C. It's 12:22 p.m. And showing you the fake sun right over my head as I'm standing at the entrance of the Walmart. If I'm standing in the middle of the parking lot at this Walmart, that's where the fake sun is going to be. Walmart is engaged in monitoring literally the demonic conduct that's underway while I'm walking around inside of the Walmart. The fake sun is moving over me while I'm inside of the building. This is demonic, and it's occurring inside of a facilitating venue that is Walmart. You need to know that Walmart's monitoring American citizens, and they're hostile minions, all right? Engaging in the P.O.C. All right, license 7JHJ451, 8XJN909. That's a demon affiliated with the Marines. You need to know he's engaged in criminal conduct, he or she. They're a sex offender engaging on molestation, engaging in this demonic activity. BNOOH99 paper, 6XTR331. 7GVA613. License 6VUZ549, 7KES956, 8ZKP394, 7WKB899. I think I read these, so let me get this. 6LKS853. They're monitoring with those demons that are group stalking inside of Walmart, because that's all those demons are doing. Everywhere they're looking at inventory, they're focused on where I'm standing, what I'm doing, as I'm doing it, okay? License 7WYY734, 2RGF258, 8WNV825. They engage in what is getting in line in order to pay for whatever it is based on where I'm at. It's relevant positioning. They're demons that are pacing around inside of a facilitating venue that is Walmart. 29020P1, 6YYX569. Demons that are pacing in the parking lot. 01132J1. 7ZCV109, 8YTB818, 8GIJ512, 8SDR034, 7CGN418, 7JHJ451. MROSE13, 8ZFZ699, 8Z75496, BF48F20, 8LOX148, 8ETB016, 7LOB530, 8NCV168, 8YHH490, 7UO6931. So let me show you the fake sun that's no longer over the entrance area. It's right over me as I'm now in the parking lot walking back to the vehicle, and the fake sun remains over me while these demons are pacing all around, which is also speaking to what is no sun that's remaining over the Ovid Family Community Library or the Paul Bryan Library. First, this demon's license plate is 8VBB647, a demon that's coming to engage in what is stalking in the path while they know that I'm about to take a picture. This is a demon. License 7UEC688. One demon after another demon after another. It's pathetic. License, they're stalking all together. This is demonic activity at Walmart. License 8XVZ839. Walmart's engaged in demonic activity, right? It is 1:01 p.m. License 9BJU281. You're looking at demons pacing around. You see that demon staring at her phone. She's crossing path as I'm taking a picture. She's group stalking. And you see the fake sun right over me, and I'm showing you the distance from the Walmart, where I'm standing right at that entrance of Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue, nowhere near 215 East C Street, nowhere near the Paul Bryan Library at Victoria Gardens. The entity is keeping the fake sun over me while the pattern of conduct is underway at a facilitated venue. Again, another business that is engaged in what is presence on behalf of the state, not engaged in any legitimate operation of a business, in no way exercising any constitutional rights, liberty rights. This is a prosecution of the state that is doing so via Walmart. You need to know what Walmart is doing to American citizens. They're monitoring you. All right. 8LOX148, 7ZPA105, 7LOL527, 6UMM324, 47925V1. Pathetic little minion stalking in a parking lot. 6FTP456, AB61Y80 paper, 8SMK785, 7DRZ479, 9BJU281. I read that one already. 6GNG830. It's P.O.C. All right, capturing images of what is Vanessa. This is the heavy female with the blonde ponytail. She's engaging in what is harassment. The demonic behavioral pattern is to create noise around you, and that engineered light, it's activity creation. And they're doing so while I'm at register number 39, the scan and go area on surveillance cameras. And the entity is doing so. This is harassment. So this is the same thing that I documented at the Prime Wash last night under the fake sun, right? The entity is stalking by plane and helicopter. Demons engage in what is maintaining noise all around you, and this is harassment by what is an establishment that is Walmart, maintaining noise all around while a demon is stalking you, making as much noise as possible. She's just using the cart and tossing stuff in there, making as much noise around. This is not, first of all, it's demented. It's also what's prosecuted as ongoing harassment and terrorism, facilitating group stalking, monitoring. And that's the significance, excuse me, sorry, of those images that I took. It's 1:43 p.m. inside of Walmart. All right, you'll see the fake sun right over my head as I am at the entrance area walking out of Walmart. This is where Vanessa is engaging in demonic behavior. This is terrorism by Walmart, group stalking, facilitation inside of Walmart. That's what Vanessa was doing, 8MTP371, GODELON. And Vanessa is inside engaging in what is surrounding me with what is noise, which is entirely harassing conduct by a demon who was group stalking inside of a commercial venue that is Walmart, where the fake sun is over the venue and nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. Because that's that sunlight that's over the staircase in the elevator over the Ovid Family Community Library while I'm inside. 8SFC814 is a demon that's molesting. And that's Walmart that's molesting, okay? Walmart is welcoming this satanic system on its grounds, and Walmart's going to be prosecuted civilly and criminally for welcoming the state, because that's what this is, state conduct occurring at a third-party facilitating venue. So the entity is keeping directed light, as you see inside of the Ovid Family Community Library, right? That's why that light source is there, because if the sun is over Walmart, there's no sun over any library that would create any of that light activity. nor does sunlight reach across the street to touch on my breast and my bottom half, where this sex offender 8FAF646 is a demon-possessed group stalker that's engaged in a perpetual sex offense. And Walmart is steady monitoring with them. License 7ZCV109, 7JHV451, 8RVA866, 5JXG537. And again, that's the sex offender 8FAF646. This is a demon that knows that I'm documenting, and they're engaging in a sex offense. That's a violent sex offender. A minor child in the vehicle. That's the conduct resulting in what is, by the way, mental institutions. 8KGY609. That's exactly how I'm going to prosecute that. While they engage in what is stalking, surrounding you with noise, while they are engaging in what is molesting you with what is directed light, and a sex offender, a demon that is engaging in stalking you, and then repeatedly touching you while they are listening to the fact that you just got through documenting their criminal counterpart, their license plate, and another demon coming in and repeating the same exact thing. All right, and they're doing it on behalf of the state. This is the conduct. While they're doing, you got a minor child in the car while you're engaging what is a sex offense by the state. You will sit in a mental institution. Okay, that's what I'm documenting. AWLZ 909. Vanessa, that's wearing a uniform attributed to Walmart, is a psychopath. She is a demon. She's got a spirit of darkness on her while she is monitoring me and making as much noise as possible while she is monitoring on behalf of the state of California. That's a demon engaging in what is a demonic behavioral pattern in a demonic environment. All right, and she's surrounded by evidence of that because the son's not over the Open Family Community Library where she's at work at 1333 North Mountain Avenue, and she's engaging in the elements of monitoring. You don't have a legal argument for that, by the way. This is P.O.C. And it is currently 1:52 p.m. Sorry, 8ZBL812. 8YAN558. License 8GGG889, 8UGN650, 7SLS654, CR075 handicap. They're all molesting. They're group stalking at Mountain Avenue in Hawthorne. The fake sun is over the windshield, leaving the property of Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue. They're group stalking in traffic. Every demon that's crossing path, flashing directed light inside of the car. This is terrorism by a demon-possessed entity. DRNICK is part of the same pattern of conduct. CD51L06 paper. And you'll notice that the fake son is not over the Open Family Community Library. While driving to that venue, that's where the fake son would arrive over me en route. That's how. Then that's what I've documented, and it's clearly nowhere near Victoria Gardens. Nor is the sun remaining over Victoria Gardens or any library at Victoria Gardens. This is insurmountable evidence of what is that very specific pattern of conduct which you're framing around an unnatural environment. It is the exposure of what is satanic conduct, spiritual darkness, demonic activity, whatever you want to call it. It's criminal monitoring. That's what group stalking is, but understand group stalking is satanic at its core. Alrighty, and it is 1:55 p.m. $8NDO973 5BKH 836. I believe I'm trying to see that one. 7FOB 906. The entity stalking with the Ontario Police, who you see in my images. 8XSD 568. While the fake sun's in motion over me, the Ontario Police Department are again captured, engaged in group stalking, doing so and communicating a threat with the people of the state who sit in federal prison for that criminal act on behalf of the entity. The Ontario Police Department are completely focused on me. They're stalking and they're doing so in that specific environment. This is already established. The people of the state are subject, and you're understanding how you're going to prosecute the people of the state that are fully engaged in that criminal stalking system with any police agency. I'm exposing and disbanding the Ontario Police Department. Amazon Prime is included in that. License plate. Stalking with light activity 05169E2. License plate 7LLP160. 4SY203. Well, that's not right. 6N25301. 9ABW392. 7VJW962. 6MPP887. 7LFL899. 8USW047. 8EBG009. 45538X2. 8JOY648. 6WSW463. All right, monitoring with Tracy Banks. Again, Tracy Banks is the third party who is every single last aspect of the entity that I'm documenting. This minion is sitting right here monitoring, and what's particularly disturbing about this demon is the fact that she's engaging in this conduct which is the conduct of, again, an adversary, an enemy. She's engaging in this against one who is, I'm her flesh and blood, all right? This is a psychopath, and I'm just documenting the P.O.C. I'm documenting her. I want to be clear, the fake sun is over me while I'm inside of the vehicle that is parked right now inside of Woodside 10-year apartments, an absolutely impossible occurrence. I'm at Fern and G Street at 8 o'clock in the morning. The fake sun is over me. You clearly see it in documentation, moving as the vehicle that I'm inside of, belonging to this minion Tracy Banks, is driving wherever it is that I go, Rancho Cucamonga, or going to the B&G Plaza, wherever it is that I remain. It's the middle of the afternoon, coming from Walmart, after coming from Golden Corral, after moving this vehicle parked at Fern Avenue and G Street, and the fake sun is directly over this property. That has nothing to do with any sort of natural movement of the sun throughout the course of a day, according to nature, all right, according to what are scientific facts. This is plain, maintenance of a fake sun in its perfect zenith over the top of my head everywhere that I'm going, and that is clearly highlighted when you're going to a location. For example, Woodside Senior Apartments is on the same block where I'm at when I'm at Fern and G Street. The sun would not be present at the same location. All right, it is, again, what is it? 2:03 p.m., meaning the sun that's supposedly an ongoing, constant moving object that's supposedly over somebody's head, over where you are in the state of Texas, where you are in Northern California. This is documentation showing the maintenance of a light source at the same corner where I woke up this morning, and it's over me through the window. That's speaking to what is an impossible occurrence for you and I. Understand what I'm revealing to you, what is an environment conducive to what is... first of all, revealing the truth about the natural environment, but which is demonic, okay? These are demons that are in this type of environment. And what I'm documenting, again, it's revealing the truth. So there are a lot of truths that are being revealed to to whoever's listening, but this is, this is public documentation. It's on the venue of the internet. So this is going out to the world as I'm revealing what is, well, I'm not revealing, I'm just exposing what is something that you're all looking at. Maybe you didn't know what you're looking at. Maybe you didn't know what we were all subject to. And we're just digesting what NASA tells us about the sun. Okay, it doesn't matter what Satan calls itself. So I just want to deliver you some truth on that. The reality is that it is not possible that the sun is over you in Northern California and San Francisco, where you're looking at it. You see that it's a sunny day. I'm talking about, and I'm just using San Francisco. I mean in Los Angeles. I mean anywhere else. This is documentation showing at the same venue, the fake sun is over the top of my head. Where it is also at the same time where I remain in, at a specific address, 215 E.C. Street. It's nowhere near there. It's directly over me. And this is a long documented pattern. This is nothing characteristic of the so-called sun as we have been taught about, okay? There's a reason for that, and that is speaking to the reality of what is a system that is underway. Now, with regard to the reality of how this environment operates, all I'm doing is speaking to your right to not be subject to what is a very specific system. When you're subject to what is surveillance by the state of California, this is the framework whereby you're showing what's a system that is in existence, because there's a reason why we were lied to about the environment. There is specific behavior that's occurring in this very specific environment. And when you are subject to this criminal pattern of conduct, you will be able to enforce your constitutional and human rights. There's nothing that we or you and I can do about the fact that dark spirits remain. People are subservient to dark entities. There's nothing you can do about that. And that's not what we're doing. This is about enforcing your constitutional rights. Satan, in other words, you can prance around. You can't do anything about that fact, but Satan doesn't have a right to harass you and monitor you and literally terrorize you in your everyday life, your professional life, your whatever aspect of your life. That's what this is, the system of prosecuting federal group stalking and monitoring is about. Removing the fallacy that group stalking is some no, it's very real, and it is the system of what are a bunch of psychopaths who will be subject to justice if they are in any way, which is clearly shown, the pattern of conduct, the prima facie case, which you are fully capable of establishing, where the entity is doing so, where in other words, those of this demonic entity are harassing you, are terrorizing you, and you document it and you prosecute the state. And that's what this is revealing. All right. So anyway, the fake sun is directly over me, and it is currently 2:06 p.m. And upon closing the trunk, that same demonic conduct, flashing directed light while I'm inside of the car. All right. This is facilitation. That's impossible light activity. So 7VCK397, 6EHL971, 7HBC538, 8ROY042, JPOWERS. And while I'm sitting in the vehicle, keeping the hazard lights on, which is facilitating light activity while the fake sun's over me inside of Woodside Senior Apartments. Alrighty, and you have what is facilitating light activity by another minion at that venue, turning their hazards on, and that they're doing so in a specific environment. These are demons that are engaging in what is massive group stalking on behalf of the state, and it's demonic conduct. It's that which is framed by what is the environment that they're in, and this is nothing other than understanding what's the reality of the environment that they're living, removing all the illusions about what we're told about the environment and how the world works, how the universe operates, and all that. It's a lie. And that's shown through what is clear documentation for you to witness it as that truth is revealed to you. Now, while you can't do anything about the fact that people are very much subservient to dark spirits, those demon-possessed minions will be subject to what is a very intense federal prosecution if the government wants to place you under surveillance, harass, or terrorize you, as I've shown, is the system of group stalking, which is not a fallacy. All right, so it is, in other words, enabling an American citizen to enforce their constitutional rights against a government that is clearly serving Satan. All right, but you are able to enforce your own rights while the government is doing that, because they shall be bound by federal law. So that's what this is revealing. Anyway, it's currently 2:08 p.m. And the light source, again, moving in the same direction it is early in the morning, taking the same routes going from Fern Avenue. So like I said, it is the P.O.C. and at G Street and Euclid Avenue. Monitoring again is 39699K3. This is P.O.C. 8ABS 917, 7PFJ 739, 5Y, I can't really see that one, just press one, 7RGC 925, 4Y4, oh, I can't really see that one, 7GKY 050, 8BSJ 708, 8TDY 185, 8PMF 754, 8FLE 594, 4XNU 631. This is at the AM/PM, the Arco at 1565 4th Street in Ontario. Showing you the fake sun as I'm going up and down the same 4th Street where the Golden Corral was this morning. Leaving and returning to the same venue. Fake sun remaining over me the whole time. Showing you group stalking while I'm on the roads and the highways. 7WGG 518, 1722783. 6WSP 755, 6KSC 907, 8PIF 545, 8SBZ 618.
This one doesn't have a washer and dryer.
License 22601E3, 8NHC 623, 8RWB 592, 6UBL 618, STA Taxi Service, license plate 30217F3, 5TYS 469, 8XAW 542, 6URX 153, 5BOH 557. The minion inside of the office of the not economy, excuse me, wrong venue. The Motel 6 at 1560 4th Street. She's standing in directed light. She's got dark brunette hair. She's standing in there with another minion, hair back in a ponytail with a white t-shirt on. They're standing in directed light. This is the facilitating. That's impossible light activity. Okay, they're monitoring. It's 2:48 p.m. All right, license. These are demons that are pacing in and out of the office, as you will see on the surveillance cameras at Motel 6. The fake sun is over me while they're both the employees and minions that are present engaging in surveillance with the state at this office of Motel 6. They're walking in directed light. This is demonic behavior that they're engaging in while the P.O.C. is underway. 6URX 153, 5BOH 557, okay. 8REF 285, 8REE 285, 7CJR 268, 8GJA 273, 5TYS 469, 8WGF 009, 5VPF 489, 9AUZ 475. I want to document this Motel 6 on 4th Street. That is monitoring. They're engaging in the P.O.C. Holding out with regard to what is the pattern of conduct, knowledge of the fact that I'm being documented, stating that they have no microwaves available in a particular room that I want, stating that it's a non-smoking community. The whole venue is non-smoking. I want to be clear, Motel 6, all of them, you have smoking and non-smoking. These are minions that engage in whatever they have to engage at their disposal to harass, all right, to target, show any sort of, the most passive-aggressive method methods employed by a demon-possessed entity. I'm documenting. They're standing around in directed light. They're standing under a fake sun. It is relevant, and that's why I'm pointing it out, okay? They don't point out ordinary policies. They're relevant to the pattern of conduct that remains underway while they're cognizant of the fact that you're documenting their criminal conduct. All right, so anyway, it's currently, and I just want to put that out. It's 2:57 p.m. at Motel 6, and the fake sun is directly over me while I'm in the vehicle at this venue, which is nowhere near, by the way, the city of Fontana. April 29th, fake sun over me as I leave. Stephanie Ortiz is going to federal prison, right? And I left, and I got on Route 66 and went to Upland Public Library, but yet where I remain here, go nowhere near none of those venues. Fake sun is over me. Nowhere near the Upland Public Library, nowhere near the Upland Police Department, as I'm documenting at 2:39 p.m., right? This is P.O.C, okay? And this is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in a private space. The private space is any room provided to you by a third-party innkeeper. The third-party innkeeper is representing the state of facilitating venue, a sex offense. Engage in surveillance inside of a private space, which represents the hotel room and the bathroom inside of the hotel room. And you got a whole bunch of demons in motel rooms all around you that know what you're doing inside of your hotel room. Engaging in what is ongoing harassment. I thoroughly documented this at Economy Inn. It's the same exact P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 2:58 p.m. Alrighty, it is third-party facilitating venue, the Motel 6 at 1560 4th Street in Ontario, California. I've already captured the images. The entity kept the fake sun over me all day long, following to what is the venue that is the Motel 6. This is speaking to a ceaseless pattern of conduct, which is demonic. It's the state of California that's a group stalking with the people of the state, and that is that specific environment that's following everywhere that I go. That's what group stalking is. And it's also revealing everybody's condition in that demonic environment, which is these are demon possessed. This is dark spirits that are on people that are engaging in stalking together, stalking a particular person, which is properly referred to as a target individual. And this is a revealing and exposing that very much real criminal monitoring system. That's what group stalking is. It's criminal monitoring. It's surveillance. And it is a government operation. It's doing it in concert with the people of the state. So I'm at Motel 6, and the entity is keeping the fake sun specifically over the room that I'm inside of at the Motel 6. And I just captured more images. I captured it earlier. I captured, again, by earlier, I mean upon arrival. That's when the fake sun remains over me. Arriving to the venue, this is where the fake sun remains. Next to what is the 10 freeway, the people of the state are engaged in a massive sex offense, monitoring inside of a private space, which is what this hotel room represents. They are engaging in what is demonic conduct. This is state terrorism that's underway, while criminal monitoring is underway on a massive scale. This is by the freeway. I just want to be clear, thousands of the demon-possessed are crossing path, group stalking, monitoring me while I'm in the hotel room. The fake sun is over me, which is adjacent to the freeway where group stalking is facilitated. I want to be clear, the entity places me by also what is the staircase. This is a means of demonic pacing. Demons are walking up and down the stairs, walking back and forth past the room. These are demons that are crossing path in directed light under the fake sun. They are doing so while the entity is also creating sensational activity. So for example, while I've been sitting inside of the room, sitting on the bed, creating an earthquake-like activity, which is referred to as sensational activity. It's occurring while I'm sitting on the bed, which is in the center of the room, while demons are in relevant position. For example, the employee, which represents Motel 6, she is group stalking. She is not engaged in anything that is in any way protected under the Constitution. She's not present as a private individual that is on a job at what is a company that's operating a legitimate business, such as Motel 6. She is a third-party group stalker at a facilitating venue in the shoes of the state, engaging in what is loitering presence, which is criminal, under the fake sun, in directed light, while terrorism is underway inside of a private space. That's how you're breaking that down. She's a sex offender, and I'm taking her picture while you're looking at her using her job. This is facilitation. This is Motel 6. You're using what it is that you do, that company, that brand, that logo, that establishment, for the state's criminal system. That's a sex offender, and I'm showing you the fake sun that's right over my head, over my hotel room, while I am inside, and that demon who knows exactly who I am. That's why the fake sun's over me. That's why directed light you see aiming onto the underneath the structure over the room, into the floor of the doorway. That's impossible light activity. It is also impossible when you are understanding what is the maintenance of the fake sun, for example, over the Ovid Family Community Library, where yesterday at this time I remained. I exited at 5:52 p.m. Recall that. At no point did the fake sun ever move. It's present on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library at 8:52 a.m. It's present over my head at that same address of 215 East C Street as I walk out of the entrance doors at 5:52 p.m. That is nowhere near the 10 freeway. It's not over the freeway. It's not going to be next to the freeway. The entity kept that fake sun over that venue of the Ovid Family Community Library at 215 East C Street, nowhere near 1560 4th Street in Ontario, California. In addition to that, it is impossible light activity because while the fake sun's remaining over that entrance of Ovid Family Community Library, and the day before that, the Paul Bunyan Library as I walk out of that venue, and the entity keeping the fake sun over me at those separate addresses, there is no sun that's going to be over my hotel room. It's not going to be over Motel 6. It's not going to be anywhere near this location. There's also not going to be any sunlight underneath a structure, impossible. And also aiming inside of the room where the sun is over, for example, the Paul Bunyan Library in Rancho Cucamonga. Impossible. Understand how it is impossible in every single way. That is a sex offender whose image I captured. That is Motel 6 that's engaging in the pattern of conduct. This is Motel 6 that's engaging in terrorism inside of a private space. This is a massive sex offense as I'm subject to surveillance inside of this hotel room. And the people of the state are engaging in what is maintaining presence all around me. And they are all the demon possessed that are doing. So they know exactly what I'm doing inside of this room as I make any move, as I peel off my clothing, as I'm engaged in any private activity where I'm nude, taking a shower, using the restroom, as I'm walking. If you're everything, in other words, that you're doing, as you can fathom, inside of a private space where the state, the public entity, has no legal right whatsoever, directly nor vicariously, because that's what group stalking is. That's what Motel 6 is engaging in. That's what the people of the state are engaging in, and that's what I'm going to prosecute for. So I'm laying that out. That environment is present, and it's absolutely impossible that will be the case. That impossibility, however, is captured as a matter of objective documentation because it is the P.O.C. That's amplified audible activity. That's demonic. Okay? And that's demonic activity that's occurring inside of what is legally relevant, a private space. That employee's image is captured. Motel 6 is captured, engaging in what is terrorism, while sex offenders are engaging in what is that level of activity creation with simultaneity to the removal of my clothes. While Satan is listening to that, with simultaneity to my engagement of private activity inside of the private space. Any and everything that you're doing inside of a private space, whether you live there, whether you are in a third-party facilitating venue where, for example, another third party's residence, and you live with that third party, it's also a private space. The government has no business, has no legal grounds whatsoever. It's a facilitating venue. You're going to prosecute for that sex offense that remains ceaselessly underway while you're subject to surveillance inside of that private space. It is also occurring inside of what is, again, a motel room. This is, in other words, a room that's provided by a third-party innkeeper where that sex offense is underway. So what you just heard is amplified audible activity. That's demonic. While I'm inside of the room, also, the entity is engaging in what is sensational activity creation, creating an ongoing earthquake-like conduct, as though the room is shaking and vibrating while I guess people are driving on the asphalt. This is what the entity is doing. While the demons are driving on the freeway, the vibrating floor of this hotel room, while demons are walking up the stairs, the vibrating, and by vibrating, I mean shaking like it's an earthquake, right where I'm at. That's entirely demonic. These are demons. And they're going to be prosecuted for that terrorism. Not only Motel 6, civilly and criminally. You're talking about what is federal prison. They're doing it on behalf of the entity is stalking by the law enforcement agency, which I've already documented. This is how they're maintaining surveillance. This is also satanic. It is prosecution for terrorism. Terrorism underway, facilitated by a commercial actor. Okay? You're not operating a business. You're stalking on behalf of the police. Guess what? You go to federal prison for that. And your work schedule is documentation of your unlawful criminal activity. Excuse me. So of your criminal conduct on behalf of that state. That's what your work schedule represents. In addition to what I've documented myself. Your mug under the fake sun, in directed light, while I'm documenting the demonic environment, which is occurring inside of a private space, where I have a right to not be subject to surveillance and activity creation, which is criminal monitoring, while I'm in the nude, engaged in any private activity, genitalia exposed, everything that the entity is fully aware of, cognizant of, because you're dealing with not only Satan, you're dealing with what is a government that's employing all manner of unlawful invasion of privacy while they're placing you under surveillance with the people of the state. So I want to make sure I capture that. And it is currently 4:26 p.m. That is not the sound of traffic. It is analogous to what the entity uses Union Pacific, the Ontario International Airport, the amplification of audible activity. This is what is occurring while thousands of thousands that are the people of the state are engaging in what is criminal surveillance of a target individual, and I'm exposing that system. That's what that is. It's demonic. It's happening under the fake sun that's over my hotel room. I have documented thousands of people, and they're all going to be prosecuted for this. They're a part of what is an ongoing sex offense as I'm documenting it right now, okay? Understand how group stalking is going to be prosecuted. All right, it is currently 4:26 p.m., and this is P.O.C. at Motel 6 in Ontario, California. Alrighty, I did capture what is the fake sun that is remaining at the same position, aiming what is impossible light activity through the through the window of this room. So you can see directed light, you can see concentrated directed light. This is the same exact pattern. I've already documented this at Economy N. I've documented this as I remained at, for example, Mayfair Inn, formerly called Knights Inn. This is 2020, the same exact pattern. By the way, there is no sun that's setting through the window of Knights Inn on Hope Boulevard in Ontario, California. It is 6 p.m. That's not going to occur before or after daylight savings time at no point in the year ever. That's also, again, pursuant to an ongoing documented pattern where the entity is nowhere near Knights Inn at any point in the day while I'm not at that venue. This is what I documented in 2020, okay? The entity is keeping a fake sun wherever it is that I'm located. At Knights Inn, the fake sun was directly over my room, directly over my head at that parking lot at Knights Inn. This is a hotel in Ontario on Hope Boulevard. The entity engaged in the same conduct, setting the sun, and I put that in air quotes. The fake sun would set in alignment with my window, aiming light underneath the structure of that second floor where that room was. The entity engaging in all manner of the pattern of conduct and showing you that the entity stalking by helicopter, the entity engaging in sensational activity, creating ongoing and I put this in air quotes because you're understanding what is demonic as opposed to what we've been told about our environment. There were no earthquakes occurring in that room. There's nothing walking. There's nothing that you're dragging. There's no maintenance that you're engaging in. There's no walking, no fat person. There's nothing that's going to create what is an earthquake in the room. It's the demonic pattern. It's sensational activity, and it's always occurring in the same environment. This is what I've documented at Knights Inn. This is what I documented at Economy Inn. This is what I documented at Days Inn. All right, this is what I documented, by the way, at Holiday Inn in Palmdale. The entity's fake sun, if you'll recall, October 2021. The fake sun all the way over me, the entire route to Palmdale, California, which is Los Angeles County. Fake sun, absolute departure from remaining anywhere over the Ovid Family Community Library at any point in the day while it remained directly over me. So what I capture right now is impossible light activity inside of this room at Motel 6 off of the 10 freeway. This is documentation of what is invasion of privacy by an entity engaged in federal stalking. The state of California, the people of the state, many of whom specifically documented not only by whatever it is that Minion's particular identity is. The people of the state includes Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is group stalking a demon-possessed third party driving an Amazon Prime vehicle crossing path on G Street where the entity was keeping the fake sun as we were en route, remaining in Ontario and driving back toward what is the venue on G Street. And I'm documenting the third party license plate of Amazon Prime. This is after coming from the Ovid Family Community Library. The entity's keeping the fake sun at 618. That's where I'm showing you the Ontario Police Department are flying over the parking garage where that fake sun is located. It is not anywhere near, nor would any light activity occur inside, nor does light activity engage in this conduct. All right, this is demonic. It's engineered light. It's specifically aimed light. It is speaking to an invasion of privacy, which is going to be prosecuted as a sex offense. The government engaging in what are your private activity that's going on inside of a hotel room or your house, your apartment, wherever it is that you live. This is what the government is doing. And that's a sex offender that's doing so. Having that knowledge, also understanding what is their condition, speaking to that sex offense that is also underway, because Satan knows what you're doing on the opposite side of a wall while they are surrounding you in the hotel or surrounding you on the street where you live or surrounding you in a hotel area, in the parking lot, on the freeway, driving on the streets around you, in the hotel rooms all around you. These are demons, and they all know at the same time while the entity is concentrating on matter of an environment and activity around you. It's a massive, unprecedented sex offense. Okay, and that's exactly what it is. That's what the government is doing, and that's exactly why, as a matter of justice, you're going to prosecute it just like that. That's literally what they're doing, and there is no point where this is impossible light activity that's behind the door is closed, so you're looking at it reaching the wall behind the door, across the ceiling, and then I open the door, you're looking at what is the maintenance of that fake sun. And again, I've already documented Motel 6 before. If you'll recall, this is December 26, 2021. In the morning, after I captured on December 25th, I believe, the fake sun is arriving in the 2 o'clock afternoon hour. The fake sun remains. I'm capturing directed light inside of that second room of this same venue, aiming light, across the bed into the depths, up into the wall. You see the third party Tracy Banks monitoring, a psychopath. Okay, this is Satan engaging in what is group stalking with the people of the state and with the state of California. But you're going to remember the time frame. The entity is keeping that fake sun in the afternoon upon arrival, and it's present over the same venue. Let me be clear, at the same position that I'm capturing it now, where it's remaining in alignment with this room. It's present in the morning as well. That's not the sun, ever. And it would not be present here, in other words, in the evening, where I've already documented what is supposedly the sun at the same venue early in the morning. And by the way, at the same exact location. All right. In addition to what is not anywhere near the Ovid Family Community Library, nor would the sun remain at the Ovid Family Community Library all day long. Not the sun. This is speaking to when you're listening to what is the sound of traffic. That's, listen, audible activity that's deliberately occurring in a specific environment. That audible activity is facilitating that environment. You have demons that are surrounding, monitoring, knowing exactly every syllable that I'm uttering, knowing as I am. And this is what you need to know, because this is the sex offense that they're engaging in. As I am in a private space, as I'm engaged in any private activity, personal activity, such as removing my underwear to use the restroom, guess what they're doing? They're all listening together, all monitoring together, all pacing around like demented psychopaths, demons that they are, monitoring together, creating audible activity with simultaneity to that private activity, which you have a right that the state not be engaged in, not be focused on, not be privy to, all right, nor in concert with the people of the state. And this is a prosecution of, again, Motel 6, in the position of the people of the state where the sex offense remains underway. And that is revealed by, framed by, what is the impossible presence of light inside of this room. It's not sunlight. And it's certainly not possibly the sun. It is pursuant to that in conformity to that documented pattern of conduct. It is also posing an impermissible threat by a violent sex offender that knows that they're being documented and continuously stalking, engaging in the ongoing pattern of conduct. So I want to make sure I documented that. And that's reflected in the images that I captured, which are being uploaded to the Google Drive, which I will be uploading momentarily. It is currently, again, right now, the current time is 6:08 p.m. and the fake sun is remaining over Motel 6 in perfect alignment with my room, aiming impossible light activity, directed light inside of this room. Remember, those are two distinct methods of stalking with light. Stalking with light is an act of terrorism. All right. Stalking with light is occurring where demons are group stalking you. OK. And group stalking is a criminal monitoring system. Where the entity is group stalking you is relevant to what type of offense the entity is engaging in. Where they're doing so inside of a private space, the entity is a sex offender and engaging in what shall be recognized under federal law, invasion of privacy by an entity. You're going to prosecute the stalker, that is the state, as the sex offender, as the stalker, as the terrorist that it is. All right. And that's speaking to, again, the federal policies that I advocate, which, again, are fully published and expounded upon, explained on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. All righty. I do remain at this third-party facilitating venue subject to the ceaseless pattern of conduct where a people and a government are engaging in what is entirely satanic. This is documentation of state surveillance and terrorism, as I remain subject to it at third-party facilitating venue Motel 6 at 6:09 p.m. This is P.O.C. License 4RWE 717, 8RAC 647, 6VYH 364, AGLTO. That looks like a Virginia. Oh, I'm sorry, Arkansas plate. License 8TPA 341. Yeah, it says Arkansas, U.S. Marine Corps. It says U.S. AGLTO. And I did step out so you can see the fake sun that's remaining at the same exact location in alignment with my room. Impossible light activity aimed inside of my room. And this Marine Corps is engaged in surveillance in the parking lot. So I want to show you that. Huh? Oh, no, I'm fine. Anything else you want to say? You're Marine Corps? African American. Looks about 70 years old. Wears glasses, wearing a black hat, driving this gray Mercedes. Engaged in surveillance. That's P.O.C. all right, knows what I'm doing in the room. This is also a demon. U.S.A.G.L.T.O. Okay, the fake sun is remaining in alignment with my room. And then I'm going to show you. It's concentrated. It is concentrated on the location of my room. And this is criminal surveillance in the parking lot where that fake sun, where that directed light, where amplified audible activity. I'm standing outside in the parking lot right now. I want to be clear. The entity is amplifying the sound of traffic as though I'm standing at this location inside of the room. It's impossible audible activity. It's in the specific environment. Looking at the freeway does not make the volume of that audible activity realistic. It's the demonic behavioral pattern. That African-American male is a demon, and he's a sex offender. He's listening to me remove my clothes, engaged in private activity in the private space. He's not monitoring by himself. He just happens to be a demon representing the people, who also happens to be affiliated with the Marine Corps. At least that's what's on the license plate of the vehicle that he's driving. And he is maintaining presence on behalf of the people monitoring me and inside of that room where I'm in. And I'm showing you impossible light activity also, and I'm showing you the fake sun, and I'm documenting these license plates, 5WBA979. And that is, again, just a sample of what is the massive invasion of privacy. These are demons that are on the freeway. These are demons that are in these hotel rooms. These are demons that are pacing around in and through. They're not engaging in what is a presence in this environment and speaking to what is in any way anything other than the pattern of conduct. That's why the fake sun is here, and it's aimed precisely in alignment with my room, okay, on the second floor. And then you have impossible light activity that is shooting through the angles. I covered up the windows with blankets, okay? The entity is aiming what is concentrated directed light, okay? That African-American male is engaging in a sex offense, and I did capture his images as well. 7M23312. The entity is keeping my room surrounded with the ongoing sound of audible activity because minions are monitoring. Yeah, this is directed light. Because they are monitoring, and they represent Motel 6. I'm not only documenting the pattern of conduct, I'm documenting the state, and I'm also documenting the state as I document any third-party facilitating venue, any third party, okay? They are engaging in this conduct as an entity, so I just want to document those third-party license plates. They are, again, just a sample. The entity is maintaining ongoing ceaseless presence by the 10 freeway. Okay, and this is state surveillance that's underway. And it is currently 7:14 p.m. What you'll notice is this morning where I'm capturing the fake sun over me at 10:29 a.m. at Golden Corral. Golden Corral is across the same parking lot. That's where I was at. This is where I was at this morning. I took a picture of this location, that same 10 freeway. The fake sun is over me at 10:29 a.m. at that Golden Corral, which is right next door to this venue where I'm at right now, the Motel 6. It is in every way speaking to the pattern of conduct, and you have a demon that's engaging in state surveillance with a license plate. I want to be clear. It doesn't matter what those demons claim to be affiliated with. I'm showing you what's a matter of public corruption and what the state of California, what the government is engaging in. And that's not the first minion, because that's what it is. This is demonic. That's not the first demon-possessed person that is group stalking me, affiliated with the Marines. Okay? Documented the Marines stalking me, in other words. Those affiliated with the Marines, with the Army, with the military, in other words. Not the first time. Okay? This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:15 p.m.